Let's see. Let me quickly do this. This is very unexpected. I am going to see if I can. Let's see if I can somehow chat here. All right, it shows over here. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. It was very unexpected. I wasn't planning on going live, but I had actually a video scheduled for another YouTuber, and he had to go and do something, so it didn't work out. So that's why I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and go live. I usually don't do live streams at this time because I'm at work, but today I was home and I was preparing for that interview or that collab video that I was doing with another YouTuber. So I decided to go ahead and go live. So let me quickly ask our Discord members to join as well. I know that this was a very sudden, and I said I'm gonna go live in just a few minutes, and let me just share the link. And then we are going to look at the markets together. We are going to also look at Tesla, look at Palantir, look at SoFi. I have some good information and some goodies with me that I want to share with everyone. So give me 1 second, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get you guys questions here. Okay, so all right, let's see here. Okay, great, awesome. SoFi calls. You know, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun with these SoFi comments here. So let me just quickly go ahead. All right. Yeah, everyone is getting the gut punch, man, not just, you know. Okay, let me quickly share this with my Discord members, and I'm going to then, there you go. Okay, so now let's quickly talk about the market. I just want to make sure that I'm okay. As I said, I'm not a pro at this thing here. Chat, yeah, it's all good. Okay, so let me quickly share the screen, and we are going to talk about what the market is doing right now. So, okay, guys, so here is the market. No, of course, no surprises here. Look, S&P is down 0.90%, and NASDAQ is down 1.87%. And then we have this Dow, which like all of a sudden, all day long, wasn't sure which direction it's going to take. It always happens. We had about 2 trillion, I would say, options were expiring today. And 2 trillions option, let me just actually, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna make it less busy here. So we can just go 1, and I'm gonna go at a daily chart here. Okay, so take a look. Now, we have been in this range since last, I would say, 4 or 5 days. And this is the range that I drew where there was an article that came out with the CPI data that we could see a huge, massive, I would say, 2022. As we end 2022, we are going to see some crazy manipulation and also a huge volatility in the stock as well. So given that, what we are seeing right now, I think we are going to be in this range. S&P is not going anywhere for at least good 8 to 10 months. What we are seeing right now is going to continue like this. But the companies that I'm talking about, we are going to talk about Tesla, we are going to talk about Palantir, and we are going to talk about SoFi. So we are going to talk all about it. And I'm not going to give you a sugar-coated statement about, like, you know what, these companies are going to go really well and all well and nice for this. But I'm going to give you the metrics. I'm going to give you the numbers. I'm going to give you the consensus. And with that, whatever the price action happens, it's going to basically be in front of us that, hey, the metrics are looking like this. The revenue is looking like this. The profit or EPS or book value per share is looking like this. And after that, if the market still punishes the stock, then literally there is nobody anyone can do. I mean, there's nothing anyone can do. I'm talking about the companies. I'm talking about the CEOs. I'm talking about no matter what they do, if the market has decided that it has lost the momentum, then there is nothing anyone can do, even though the metrics of the company is pretty strong. So let's talk about here. I'm going to share some images with you guys. Let me start with, what do I have here? Okay. So let me just quickly share SoFi with everyone. And with SoFi, let me just see here. Okay, so this is, we are looking at the estimate, and I'm sharing with you what the consensus estimate is for this year is about $1 billion. 2021 was $1 billion, and then 2022, $1.4 billion is the estimate or consensus estimate for the revenue. And then we are talking about 2023, about $2 billion. Now, if you look here, earnings per share, we are still in negative till about 2023, but the negative that we are in, -4.6 and -2.6, it's decreasing. On top, pre-tax income, look, -475.6, -375.5, and look at the big drop that we are going to get in 2023. It's -173. Then consensus estimate, net income, -380.3, and then 215.5. So if you look at these numbers, these are all strong numbers. And I know that we are out of the student loan thing that's going on. And I feel that SoFi has written them off. I don't think SoFi is even considering student loans ever coming back. So when they come out on, I think it's May 20th or something like that, the date for their earnings call, if they come out and they give us the earnings where they're saying that, you know what, we are estimating student loan to come back at the end of this year, if they include that statement, I'm not going to be happy, because I think at this point, they should just consider them out. There's nothing they can do about it, and might as well just focus on other metrics of the company. Let me just now open up another SoFi chart here. I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to open up another SoFi chart. So we have a book value of share right here. We have a book value of 481. So 529 was 12/31/2021. And then 481 for 2022 and 478 for 2023. Now, the EPS is not improving as much as the companies or the Wall Street would like. So SoFi share, if you are in SoFi share, they are going to be in this range for a very long time. Because when I started investing in SoFi initially, my thought process was that we are going to see some massive, I would say, revenue generation because of the bank charter, because of the student loan. I wasn't expecting student loan to stop or pause. Yeah, it was a pause, for temporary pause, and I thought they are going to get started again. And now management has to even work harder to gain that missed revenue, in my opinion. And I feel that we are going to see some amazing news, because you know what happens, right? When you take a revenue away or revenue stream away from a company, we are going to basically see, we are going to see the company come out, and they are going to basically give us that's why Technisys, that's why Galileo was before, but that's why Technisys, because they are going to integrate everything under one umbrella. As they said, they are vertically integrating everything within SoFi. And it makes sense, because some folks were saying that, you know, they don't understand the Technisys or SoFi buying Technisys. They want to bring everything in-house. Look what Tesla is doing, and look what Palantir already has. And I'm going to share the similarities between the three. But the less you rely on others for generating income, the better it is. The more you rely, the more you are on their hands to basically, if they raise prices or if they have issues, then you have issues. Palantir has only 2 suppliers. It's a huge company. It's like, you know, doing billions in revenue, has only 2 suppliers. One for the images, that satellite images that they take. It's another company who supplies them. And one supplier is recruiter.com. That's basically supplying them the resumes of the people. That's about it. Everything else is all inbuilt, all the data that they generate, all the software. Of course, they're a software developer company, so you don't expect too many suppliers from that kind of companies. But still, they use a lot many services than what they provide to their customers internally. And they have all these vertically integrated. And that's why I like Palantir as well. But look at the stock. It's been dead in water. Look at SoFi. It's been dead in water. And that's what's going on right now. All right. I'm just going to look at some chat here. Hey, everyone. So now let's take a look at the markets for a second. So look, Apple and Tesla is 990. So I actually alerted my members here that I'm going to buy a at the money call for Tesla near the close, and we are 336. I'm going to wait till about 345, 350, and I'm going to execute that trade. And my range is between 980 and 990 is my range, because see, all day today, this is actually, let me just quickly change the minute chart here. So all day today, Tesla has been in that range all the way from, we are talking about since it started to come down some 1,000 and right here. And majority of the day, Tesla actually spent in this range between 997 and I would say 982. So right here is the range where the majority of the day Tesla has. So let me just draw a line here. So take a look here. So this is one line, and take a look over here. This is second line that we have. Okay. So this is the range that Tesla has been. Now I have an order right now. I'm going to tell you guys here. So I have one call I'm buying for $985 at $32 is what I put the price in. It's right now at $38 or $3,800. If Tesla reaches $35 or so, I'm going to change my buy price and I will go ahead and get the call. I feel that as we get a little bit closer, the price should come down a little bit because of all the option expiration that's happening today. But I was expecting Tesla to be about 980 right now, and it's at 990. It's $10 above where the strike is. And I have another position open because historically, anytime Tesla has the earnings, which is going to happen next week, Tesla has rallied a day or two before. So it's always been the case. And because of the option expiration, because of the Twitter saga that happened today, this morning, Tesla stock has been down. And if not, I would have easily seen Tesla, if these two things were not there, the options weren't expiring, the 2 trillion options, or if the Twitter thing wouldn't have happened, I could have easily seen Tesla touch 1,000 or above 1,000 today, and then Monday and Tuesday it would have rallied before Wednesday. So my goal is that I want to buy this call at about $32 to $35, which right now sitting at 37, and it's getting closer. See, the price is dropping right now. It's just 988. And I feel that right now we are just starting MACD on the negative, and RSI is also not looking all the way at the bottom. It has reached bottom during the day here. And I feel the price is going to come down towards the end when a lot of people are going to go ahead and now they will think, okay, this is the price. It's not going, look at the price, 987. As we are talking, it's dropping. And I have, my calls now is at 37. And I have put a bid for 32. And I really hope that if I can get filled by 32. If not, then very last minute, I'm going to go change and see what I can get at that time. On top of that, I have another option that I have open. I'm selling actually, and I don't do this very often. This is the time because I feel market is going to rally next week, or not market, but Tesla is going to rally next week before the call. So I feel we are going to see some, hold on a second here. Let me see. Okay, so we are going to see some movement from Tesla on Monday and Tuesday, and that's my plan to basically get out on Monday and Tuesday from this. So I'm selling 10 cash secured put. I just did it a week ago. I think last week I did it. Yeah, I'm selling cash secured put 10 for January 2023, and my strike is 800. I put in $100. I want to get $100 for each one of them. So in total, I would around 100,000. That's my goal. If I get it, great. If not, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to touch it because my plan is to get out next Monday or this coming Monday or Tuesday and make like maybe 5% or 10% if I can, because I did that on Monday when the stock price went down. I immediately sold the cash secured put and I was able to make about 10, 15 grand on that one bet. And I love it because Tesla is the only stock that would move this quickly and still manageable, because when you go to Amazon and Google, it just gets a little too expensive to kind of put that kind of money aside. Okay, so let's watch what markets are doing right now, and I'm gonna see all the I would say red is going up. Look at Apple now. Apple is 165.79. It was 2.5. Now it's 2.7%. And Nvidia, look at Nvidia, 4% drop. Wow. And I actually alerted Nvidia because all semiconductors. Doesn't matter if it's Nvidia. Look at this chart of Nvidia. I mean, my goodness, 1 minute chart all the way from 227 to 212. I alerted, and I actually put it in community tab too, if I remember correctly, that semiconductors are in doo-doo. I mean, I think they are going to get punished in the coming days because people are saying that companies over-ordered, or they placed a lot of big orders for semiconductors, and now the growth is slowing down because consumers are not spending money. So I feel that we are going to see this softness in semiconductor for the next few months. Still, NVIDIA is an amazing company. Still, AMD is an amazing company. Nothing wrong with the company. But pure in terms of the growth that they saw in 2020 when people were working from home, they're not going to see the same type of growth. I mean, look over here. We are talking about like 6%, 6.4% drop just in one day. And if I change that to the daily chart, I mean, we can see that, I mean, we had this right here, this huge spike all the way from October, and then they went through the roof. And then after that, we started to come down. And now from all-time high, if I go over here, so let me just do this from all-time high to now around 25% drop, in just, when was this? This was 329. I mean, this was just like not even 2 weeks ago. And since that time, if you see, we have, oh, this is Nasdaq I'm looking at. Okay, so I was talking about NVIDIA. So let me just quickly open NVIDIA here. And NVIDIA's chart. Okay, there you go. And let me just get rid of this. And we are going to look at this. Okay, so if you look over here for NVIDIA, we are going to, I'm going to draw this here. And all the way, yeah, about 25 or 26% loss that we have seen in NVIDIA alone. And NVIDIA is a strong company. They have a strong balance sheet, and they have invested lots and lots of money in the stock market, in their infrastructure to get them ready for what's coming ahead, which is their Omniverse and also their Metaverse, which is they're really big at. Okay, so coming back, this one of the stock actually I want to talk about that I haven't mentioned in my channels, or I haven't made any video on it, is Disney. I'm really bullish on Disney in the coming months because I feel this reopening is huge. I mean, you can get any passes, you can get anything for Disney. I mean, I went with my family for the spring break, and I was there in lines. I mean, there was lines everywhere. So I think Disney will do really well when they report the earnings, especially, and then also at the same time, I think it's a great reopening play. But this is a short-term play. This is what you do is you buy calls like this week for like a month out, or if you have the share, you sell covered calls, because again, a new variant, a new news can really put a damper on the whole growth or whole reopening plays. I learned that from my United and from my Delta bets. I had many calls on Delta, and I sold, or I took profit on some, but I kept some thinking, you know what, everybody's going to come out, everybody's going to do this, everybody's going to do this. And then we got Omicron. And then boom, all that was down in the water. So I feel like, we are going to see this huge play on Disney. I am planning on playing some calls on Disney. Yeah, so let's see what happens. So this is Moomoo, by the way, guys, and I have a link. I have a link in the description for you to get some free stocks on Moomoo. I really like it. I started just using it recently, and I really like how the charting and everything is. Okay, Tesla 989. Damn it, it's going back up, and I want this. It's funny how all of a sudden when you have a bet where you want to make or you want the stock to come down, and all of a sudden you start praying like, okay, come down. Okay, so now it's turning positive. Looks like it's going to take a flight up. My call is back to $38. What do we have? We have 345. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm going to execute the call at the price that I'm going to get, because I think we can see some positive. Again, guys, don't follow me. Don't copy me. This is not a financial advice. I don't want you to do this because this is a complete risk. I even told my Discord members, this is a complete risk that I'm taking right now, because historically Tesla has done it. But Elon Musk has been on such a Twitter rampage that one word, Tesla too expensive, boom, everything down. So don't copy this. This is extremely risky. I can lose all 3,500 whatever dollars right here, and because it's so short term. And that's why I'm just telling you that I'm looking at the price movement here, and I feel Monday, Tuesday will be a movement when we can see break 1,000. And if I have a 980 call, that gives me right away intrinsic value on the option, and I can get out because I still have like 4 days left. Okay, buy the dip, Andy. Yeah, I wish I'm running out of money. Buy the dip is a great, that's what I say. I mean, I don't know, you can't see right now, but I have a little sticker here that says buy the dip. and it has a guacamole on it. So, I'm a big believer in buy the dip. I agree with you. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. And let me actually just pull up CNBC and see what they're saying here. Okay. And we are going to be talking about, let's see actually what markets are doing before we jump into the CNBC. Okay, so same thing, 1.95. We have an S&P is actually going down. Yeah, S&P is going down. 1 minute chart, look, the whole S&P. And it has reached like 43.98 in midday around, I would say 1541. And then now I'm seeing some pressure here on S&P. I expect like towards the right at the end, we can see some crazy price movement, and I just want Tesla to come down and touch at this level so I can buy. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually bring this here. Okay, and I'm gonna actually talk about Palantir as well, guys. So I'm just waiting for the market to close so I can do this. Elon Musk says he's not sure he'll be able to buy Twitter after 43 billion. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, Elon Musk's Twitter plan is always like, he says one thing, but you never know what he's gonna do and what he's gonna, come. Actually, let me sign in here. Hold on. Okay. All right, so I'm in my pro account. Okay. So we have here, what are we doing here? Okay. And so let's see what markets are doing on there. So it's 267, 196. And then we have, what is gas doing? Okay, so all the commodities are up today. And that's why we are seeing this, I would say this weakness in the stock market. And we have S&P 500 here, Home Depot, nothing interesting. This is what I want to click and take a look. TD conference in Vancouver. Okay. So it's saying, so this is what I heard, that he has plan B for basically if he doesn't get to buy Twitter, he has plan B to cover and to buy Tesla. And in my opinion, I feel the plan B is that he's going to go to these banks like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and basically they will combine with the shares and they will say, you know what, let's buy out Twitter. It all depends on Twitter's board and also the CEO. I feel bad for the CEO because he just started this Twitter thing. And, and since he's been in the office, he took the maternity leave, and then Elon Musk stormed, and he won't leave Twitter alone. Two things going to happen. He's going to make money. Not make money. Of course, he makes a lot of money. He's going to buy Twitter. That's number one. Number two, I think what's going to happen is that he's going to, if Twitter denies it, he's going to kill Twitter. He's going to say, I'm starting my own thing. And like Trump did with the TWAC. And then he said, he's going to come out and say, I'm going to start my own thing. And that's going to drive everyone crazy. And, his following and his Twitter and all that. And he's going to announce it on Twitter that I'm starting some kind of other social media platform. Because if he has set his mind and if he has put final offer in there, buyout offer, I think he will make that happen by plan A or plan B. There's a question that came that says, will buying Twitter be good for Twitter or Tesla? I think there is some concern for Tesla shareholders that how are you going to pay for Twitter? Are you going to sell more Tesla stock? So it might not be that good for Tesla stock in the short term, but I think in the long term, it's going to be fine because I think anyone who can run a social media company with enthusiasm, I think Elon Musk absolutely can do it. I mean, if he is doing boring SpaceX, Tesla, why not Twitter, right? I mean, he's not. See, Twitter is one of those things that it won't require too much of his time. It's just one thing that, okay, if his name gets added, it adds more value. Okay, that platform is now like open and democracy and all those things come into play. And he's basically doing a takeover like an activist. So it'll be great for Twitter stock. I think Twitter stock is going to do good, but Tesla stock might suffer, and that's why we saw this morning actually in the Twitter stock. Okay. Oh, look at that, Tesla dropping to 986. See, I knew towards the close they're going to do this, and my options are 36.35. Yes, come on. Okay. And I have come on, drop more. And that's what I was waiting for. I need that big drop towards the end. And look, MACD is also now turning negative. So we might see this drop kind of go over to more 2 or 3 candlesticks. I'm sorry, I'm just, okay. Okay, I'm just looking at some question. All right. Yeah, I mean, he can easily start something on his own. Actually, guys, look at this, right? I mean, I'm going to make it bigger a little bit so we all can see. Look, it's turning. Oh, did we just move our line? Come on, stay there. There you go. Okay, so I feel we are going to see this our line that I drew in the beginning. I think we are going to see this line kind of touch towards the end. It's 986. Look, it's dropping 985. My call is now 35.85, and I have a 32 bid on it. If I can get it, awesome. And I have another $100 that I was telling you. I'm selling 10 cash secured put for January 2023. And if that happens, then it's going to also, it crossed 985. Okay, it's going to drop more because we still have, how much time we have remaining? We have exactly 7 minutes and 54 seconds remaining for the market close. Okay, all right. Are you going to do lives regularly? I wish if I can do live every day, morning and evening. But no, today I actually was doing a collab with another YouTuber, and that was a surprise. And I'm going to keep the name a surprise as well. We both were doing collab, but he had an emergency, he had to go, so we couldn't do this collab. And that's why I took like the afternoon off so I can be here and I can do the collab. But usually I'm at work at this time and I can't take off. That's what pays the bills. YouTube doesn't, trust me. Okay, YouTube, wish pay for Bloomberg. Okay, so 985, and now, you know what? It's 35.95. I'm going to modify my bid, guys, and I'm going to buy it at 3,600 right here at 15. I'm gonna actually go ahead and do this right now. I put the, and it's filled right away. It might go more, but I'm looking at what I'm looking at over here with the RSI and MACD. It could just spike up from here. And this has hit because see, it has hit multiple times today, right here, you know, and then after that it got some support and it took a flight up. So I bought that call for next Friday for 36.15. My option, the 10 secured puts, is at $97 ask, and I put in $100. So $3, which is $3,000, if you look at it, not a big deal. But I'm just stubborn when it comes to this. Give me 100 that I asked for, or don't. I'm not going to spend. I'm not going to put like what, almost 800 or $800,000 on the side for you. Okay, so SoFi is a major. Yeah, I know, right? Pump and dump is amazing. And by the way, SoFi, the major short funds, I have not read their 13F for the major shorts, but I will get that data soon because I'm also interested in finding out. What about SoFi getting really crushed day after day? Yeah, I mean, look at this. Okay, so forget about SoFi getting crushed day after day, okay? Let's look at a stock, which is basically, in my opinion, one of the safest bet in the stock market, okay? Oh my goodness, sorry guys, I'm doing all this charting and it's gonna bother you. Okay, hold on. Okay, so if I show you this chart right here, right? Look, and this is 1 day, and we are going to actually go, and let me just make it a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. This is Apple's chart, okay? Now, Apple's chart, in my opinion, is a straight line. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just such a solid company that it just keeps going slowly as they launch new things. They started to just go slowly up. In my opinion, Apple is the most safest company with the beta way that it has, is the most safest company to park your money. I have my money invested, heavy money invested in Apple just for that reason, because I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to look at it. I mean, I can sell covered calls on Apple every time, and I would not get worried about it. But look, Apple, they crossed 182.94. By the way, if you are playing covered calls, that ceiling of 182.5 is an amazing ceiling for Apple. It just wouldn't break. You know, I mean, it goes there and it crosses that trillion mark, 3 trillion mark, I think, the market cap, and then boom, it comes down. And every time it tried to reach that, it gets rejected. So what I do is I sell covered calls. I have about 7,000 Apple shares. I sell covered calls on that when I feel that the market has really rallied. I could sell every week, but I don't. I only sell when we have this huge rally, and then I go and sell at 180, 182.5 like 2 weeks out, because I know it's going to come down. Market is such a mess right now that you cannot base any company on fundamentals. You cannot base any company on what you may call that, how much revenue they're generating, what's their team, who is their CEO. It's all down in the drain. It's all technicals right now. People are shorting left and right like anything. So I feel that we are going to continue to see these market situations and conditions for a very long time. Actually, my one eye is on Tesla for a second here. Okay, so 1 minute. Where are you? There. Okay, so see, it's like struggling at that line that we drew in the beginning of live stream, and struggling to stay at that line, and it's trying to go up. And that's why I bought it at that time, because I feel like now I would be risking losing it, and then it's going to take a flight and I would lose it here. Okay, so I'm up about like 2% right now. Yeah. But so next week, I think it's going to be really interesting for Tesla, Monday and Tuesday. And you guys, Discord members, you already know that I posted an alert that I will be buying this call. But for those who are not on the Discord and joining me for the live, on those who are new to our channel as well, make sure you subscribe, hit the like, and then also follow on Monday, Tuesday, and see what happened with that one call that I bought. You know, this is such a earnings play. I'm actually just something personal. I'm going to be going for a hiking trip and with my friends next Wednesday to Sunday. And I'm going to South America for some mountains. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to take the expense. And I said to one of my friend that I'm going to take the expense out of Tesla. And that's what I did last week. And that's why I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to spend my money on this trip. I feel like Tesla should pay for it. And that's exactly what Tesla did with their option that I sold, the cash secured put. I got enough money to go and have a good trip. So that's what, you know, my goal is. Tesla has been such a great stock for me personally. I mean, I have gained over 974% if I look at my portfolio right now on Tesla. I mean, it has been such a blast for me, and I enjoy each and every minute of driving the car and investing in the stock, both things. Okay, all right. SoFi is bleeding me dry. Me too, brother. Me too. You know, this is crazy, and I'm going to show you after the market is it closed? 1 minute 33 seconds. I'm going to show you the SoFi's long-term projection and also Palantir's long-term projection, because I hold Palantir as well, and I know some of the channel viewers have as well. Okay, so let's look at the 984. It dropped more. Damn it. What is that call now? Okay. Oh, it's still 36. Okay, so the call price hasn't changed. I paid, what, 36.15, and right now the ask is 36.50 and the bid is 36.10. So yeah, no big deal there. But let's see if I'm going to get that put of the 100 put. No, 97.35. They're not moving on that one. Okay, so yeah, we will see how the market close right now. I'm going to actually go over here. And let's see, Google is also down 2%. The volume on Google, I mean, it's just such an expensive. I cannot wait for the split, and then you're gonna see some crazy volume here on this. Okay, S&P 1.25 to 18, and Dow Jones is still hanging in there, 121 points. And let's see what S&P is doing. Yeah, S&P, look at the flight. Oh my goodness, look at the sell-off right here. This is the sell-off that I was telling, like all these option people are waiting to the very last minute that can we get out of our stocks? Can we do something? No, you know, wow. Okay. All right. So let's see here now. So we are going to check back again on our Tesla and see. Okay, Tesla taking a flight up. Yeah, it's, I think 984.70 is the end, and then 5 seconds and the market closes. My call is 35.50. Oh man. It's all good. I'm just kidding with you guys. Okay, great. So market is closed, officially closed, and it's not going to open till Monday. So tomorrow is a holiday, so market is going to be closed. This is, and I usually, I'm going to share the screen back in 1 second. So I usually tell my Discord members, and I even actually told in my YouTube videos, that I don't hold Tesla options over the weekend, because he can come out and he can just tweet one thing that's going to change the whole dynamics of the stock. I usually, when I'm talking about Tesla options, unless it's a cash secured put, any kind of calls or any kind of other things, I do it on the weekly basis. I'll do it on a Monday, Tuesday, sometimes on even Thursday for a Friday expiration, because I think it's the most safest way and quickest way to make money in Tesla without risking too much. But this bet that I did today for next week is basically just an earnings play, because I want to make sure that, that rally that we are going to get, hopefully we're going to get, I'm going to show you on a chart what I mean. The rally that we will get, I will get out even Monday by end of end of market close, and also either on Tuesday. So I really feel that we are going to see a rally, and here's what I mean by that. So let me actually share the chart. There you go. Okay. So I'm going to show you the chart here of Tesla, and I'm going to go to the daily chart here, and I'm going to zoom out so we can see some earnings here. Okay. So, right. Okay, so this is the earnings 126 that we had, right here. See that big red candle? That's when the earnings came out. And then, but before that, we had this flight from all the way from 875 or touched like 864, and it went up to like 983. We had that $30 change that in like last 2 days. But before that, we had that news that came out about the Tesla, and Tesla already had spiked so much before on the news that we got at that time. And after that, the stock was coming down. But then right before, it took a flight up too. And that's what I mean. Just 2 days before, it usually takes a flight up. And if you're buying an option right here, even though it's only a $20 difference in the stock price, you are basically not that $20 is going to give you a huge intrinsic value, because option is the futures looking or look forward. So basically traders are saying it rose 20 points today, it can rise 50 points in the next 3 days. And that's what you get good money for it. Then take a look over here. So we had this earnings over here, and then before the earnings, the stock was in a steady incline right here up until the earnings. And the earnings were so damn good in October of 2021, and then stock just went through the roof. This is always a risk. After the earnings, usually there's a down 1 or 2 days, and then it takes up. Sometimes it extends. So it's always I would say after the earnings is always hit and miss. Before the earnings, historically, the stock has done well. In terms of how it has come about. Last 2 days I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the week or 2 weeks. Last 2 days, the stock has done well. So my aim and hope is that last 2 days that we have, Monday and Tuesday, the stock will come around, I would say 1,000 or 1,010, which is going to be good enough for me to get out of my call. Okay. All right, great. So options expire at 4 p.m. Not that. Okay, always good to see. Thank you, everyone. Now let's talk about SoFi. We cut it in between that I was talking about. I'm going to talk about SoFi, then I'm going to talk about what the consensus is for 2022, 2023, and then we are going to talk about Palantir as well in the same line, okay? So let's take a look at a third image that I have here. This is actually Palantir. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm just kind of, opening things and going on the fly. I was not prepared to have all of this. Okay. Do I have everything that I need? Yeah. Okay. So take a look at actually this image right here that I have. Okay. So this is the image that I shared with you before in the beginning. And I want to just kind of dig deeper a little bit on into that image. So one of the things I want you to pay attention is net income, because at the end of the day, it's business that makes income that gets rewarded, right? If you're not making money, boom, you're done. Nobody wants to be in you, and invest in your company, or So I feel that the consensus estimate that they're showing are strong numbers when it comes to net income right here, okay? Because even though they're in negative, but they are actually, let me just move the image. There you go. Even though they are in negative, but they are reducing. Now, I would love to see them turn profit or basically have net income in positive by 2024. So that'll be a huge ask. But I feel if that happens in 2024, then all the pain that we are seeing right now will be well rewarded at that time. I'm not saying that stock is not going anywhere until then. No, stock is going to move. Absolutely. I think for the next 8 to 12 months, forget about SoFi in terms of gaining any kind of traction where we can see the stock $20. I doubt it's going to happen because the market conditions are such. And I'm not talking about SoFi as a company. I'm talking about market conditions. I mean, Jamie Dimon came out and I actually put it on our community tab as well, that he's saying that short term we are looking good, but long term we are in trouble. And that's what I also feel personally as well, that maybe this 1 month when we have this, all of a sudden earnings will come out. After that, we will see some softness. And then when the Fed comes out and they give us the 50 basis point increase that we are talking about, once we get that, then market will rally maybe for a month, thinking that, now Fed is done with what they were doing, 50 basis point, they're done. We are in clear, we'll go. But there is a huge problem that's happening internally. I was actually doing I was looking at some numbers. The credit card transactions hasn't slowed up until now. Still going in the same direction as before. It's not like 2020 when we had that, or 2021 when everybody had that stimulus money. It was crazy at that time. We saw in the market what was going on. So markets are showing that people don't have money, but the leisure stuff is showing that people has money. So people still have money that they got back in the day. Yeah, almost last year or year before. They're still using that money. They're still charging on the cards. And I'm going to actually make a video on that because that was a very good data that I got. And I was like, this is interesting because it shows that the consumer spending is still there. But what's going to happen? The consumer spending is going to start to come down as we get into second quarter of 2022, because right now people are very excited to travel. Weather is opening up. People are taking flights. You can't find flights anywhere. I mean, we have to pay like arm and a leg to go to this trip because everything was just booked. And usually the price is like $300. We paid like $500 for the same ticket. So I feel like everything is through the roof. And then once we hit that level where we're going to see a drop, that's the problem that we are going to see, because now people don't have money to put in the stock market, which we already know that they don't have money to put in the stock market. But at the same time, now what's going on is that people now don't have money to spend. That means companies are not going to make money. That means people, those who rely, the businesses, those who rely on people to spend money are going to suffer. So what Jamie Dimon said in the earnings, I absolutely 100% agree with that. I feel we are in some rough waters until the end of 2022. And I don't want to be that guy that, who's always like talking about negative stuff. And I don't really enjoy that content as well. But when all studies point to one direction or one thing, you got to start believing that. And that is why when somebody says, I'm buying this leap call for like 2022 January, when they talk about that, I always tell them, don't do that right now. Don't do that right now, because the intrinsic value is going to get killed in the coming days. When the stock is not going to move, it's going to be in the same direction. Look, Apple, I mean, it just wouldn't break 182.5. It's been trying since like last 6 months. And when a company like Apple doesn't have that kind of catalyst where it has so much money, it has so many products, millions of people use the product, then how can you imagine companies like Palantir and SoFi does unthinkable of just going and hitting $20 or $30 or whatever the price target is? I think we are going to see some rough waters here. And it's sad because I have lots of calls for January 2023 that I bought in October and September of last year. I paid top dollars. I'm going to lose all that money. But I bought those calls by selling the puts. See, I always hedge in that way. So I sold like 100 puts for December 2023, $15. I think it was 15 or 10, something like that. I have to look. On SoFi, I think it was 15. So if by December 2023, not 2022, December 2023, if the stock is $15, then I will get that money. If the stock is, I'll get to keep that money. And that's the money I use to buy those calls. I always do that when I'm buying heavy calls like this. I always use the the money that bank give me, not my money, because that way at least I have some hedging. And it can actually turn around. I would have sold, I could have sold this December and I would be upside down on both ways. Now I have to buy 10,000 shares of SoFi at $15 a share while the stock is sitting at $7. So it was a very smart move, and I would like say thank God, because I just moved it to like till December of 2023. So I feel that we are going to see, or we are going to be in this rough water for a very long time. And this number right here is going to, in my opinion, is going to get better as we go in next 6 to 8 months. We are going to see I would say this consensus will change. I think because of what SoFi is doing, there was a 17% increase in the members. The last video of SoFi that I did, I mentioned that their members are growing, their services are growing. And now with Technisys bank charter under one umbrella, we could see them make more money in the coming years than previously projected. So I think these numbers will get changed over here. Now, another thing to point out over here is that look at the book value. So book value as of December 31st per share was like 529. Now it's 481, and it's actually going down. It's going to 481 and it's going to 478. And this is what makes me feel or believe that Wall Street is now pricing in that the growth that they expected SoFi to have in the next 5 years is not going to be there unless SoFi comes out and delivers a bombshell news that they are partnering with X, Y, and Z company, or they are buying another X, Y, and Z company. Because I feel that we are going to see some crazy mergers and acquisition news from SoFi in the coming days, because it doesn't make sense for them to not handle the student loan issue by keeping it aside. They have to think of something. They have to think of another revenue stream that they can bring in, who can bring that money back. So I personally feel that we are going to be in this rough water with SoFi for some time. And also on top, actually, there's another thing I want to bring your attention to, and which is, where is my Bloomberg? Give me a second, guys. Okay, so this is what I was looking at. Actually, where is SoFi? Right here, right? And so I'm just pulling that chart up to see. Okay, and where is it? Ratios. Okay. Okay, it's taking long. I don't know what's going on here, but I will share it. I'm gonna put it actually on community tab, this one screenshot, which is really, really interesting to see how SoFi stock is going to behave in the next 6 to 8 months. And they were showing in a chart that how the member increase is going to make actually the stock not go up but go down, because SoFi will be spending a lot more in adding more services. So I think it's going to get really interesting with SoFi, but next 6 to 8 months to end of the year, it's going to be tricky, and it's going to be one of those things that we all have to watch and see how SoFi navigates the water. That's why this earnings that we are going to get is extremely, extremely important for all us investors to listen carefully, especially the earnings call. I don't care about the earnings much, but the earnings call is really going to be tricky, because somebody is going to ask that question that, from SoFi, that, hey, how are you navigating the student loan? What are you doing? What if the student loan never comes back? What's going to happen then? And that's what makes it even more exciting to attend that call, because Anthony Noto has to come out and has to give out his reasonings why. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at some questions. I'm sorry, I've been not paying attention to the questions. Okay, does not bring much revenue, right? Patient options. Okay, so nothing is short the market, right? Yeah, shorting the market is the way to go these days, I guess. Okay, so now let me quickly switch gears and let me share a few things about Palantir with everyone. Okay, so this is Palantir's chart, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so you guys can see all of you. Okay. Yeah. All right, so look what's going on with Palantir. So Palantir is another stock that has been like, if I put the Palantir chart up, I mean, wow, we are going to see some, same story as SoFi right here. Look at this. So this is their daily chart, and look, like $29, $30 back in September of 2021. And since then, it has been like going down. And if I calculate all the way from where it was to where it ended back in February 24th, we are talking about like almost 67% drop. And right now, from not all-time high, but from the September high, we are down about 57% drop here. So when you look at numbers like that, of course, as an investor, you get discouraged thinking that, you know what, you get discouraged thinking that, you know what, I don't want to be in this stock, man. I mean, this is losing money. I have so much money invested in the stock. And trust me, I have too. Palantir was, I would say, one of my most exciting buys of 2020 or 2021, because I literally felt that this company is capable of so much and it can achieve so much that it's mind-blowing. But then stock-based compensation, everything. And that's why in my previous video, I said that I'm not adding any more Palantir where we are right now because of the stock-based compensation. I mean, it's crazy. It's fully diluted. I'm not against it. I love actually stock-based compensation for these growth companies, especially SoFi, Palantir, companies like that, because if they don't offer that, they can't keep the talent. If they can't keep the talent, they cannot attract new good talent. And if they can't do that, they can grow. So it all ties up into the growth. So fine, give them the stock-based compensation, but do it in a way that doesn't hurt stockholders, shareholders, in a way. Figure it out in a way that doesn't hurt the shareholders like it did. And that's what, but the times back in 2020, 2021 were different. Everybody was gung-ho, everything was to the moon. Nobody cared for valuation, nobody cared for earnings, nobody cared for fundamentals. Things are changed now. Now where we sit, everything matters. Even a drop in a revenue would be considered as, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Or an increase in their expenses will be like, what, they're spending that much more in marketing and sales? This is crazy. So this, if you look at the chart alone, it's disgusting. You're like, okay, I'm done. But look at this. So this is their total revenue, and this is their 2022 and 2023 estimate. 2022 government estimate is 1.1 billion and 1.4 billion in 2023. Their government business is their oldest business. That means they started government business. I have the data from 2018. You see 255 million, 345 million, 610, 897, 1.3, 1.4. The business that they started back in 2018, and they actually started a lot before. The data that I have is only till I went back like 10 periods, right? Had annuals. So the data that is not there on the sheet, but the commercial business is brand new. They are still expanding their commercial business. So if you look over here, their government revenue is 1.4 billion, right? It shows over here, right? Look at their commercial revenue, 1.2 billion. So by 2023. So government, they started so far, like so long ago, and they are able to do 1.4 billion by 2023. It's slowing down. It's not the same pace as it was before, but their commercial TAM, or total addressable market, is massive, and it's going to get bigger as we get out of this pandemic-induced supply chain issues. Everybody is going to look for a solution so it doesn't hurt them or happen again. And look over here. Okay, so right here, if you see the government revenue, the commercial revenue that we have, 1.4 billion and 1.2 billion. Right now, 2021, we ended with 644.5 million in commercial, 897.4 in government. Look, in the next 2 years, they're almost, if you look over here, 644 to 1265, they're almost doubling the commercial business. Where do you think the stock will be by 2023, by 2024, by 2025? And that's why anytime anybody invests in Palantir or SoFi for that matter, I always tell them, you need to think of this way. That money that you're putting may not give you anything back for a very long time. Just forget that money. Just invest and put it aside and you're done. And the same reason why I'm not buying any more SoFi or any more Palantir right now. Because with the market condition that it is, or what I'm seeing in the horizon that's coming up, we are not going to get much return on our money regardless. The last thing I want to do is put more money into the stock, which I know is not going to give me any return for the next 2 to 3 years. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for a quick return. And the quick return companies, you can count them on your fingers. Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, these are the companies that are going to give you a quick return. That's given this year. I'm talking about 2022. 2023 onwards, we don't know where the inflation is going to be. We don't know what the jobless claim is going to be by that time. There is still out there. People think that inflation is all done. We are going to see it down. The core inflation was not that bad. This is this. No. We don't know anything yet. The Russia-Ukraine can get worse. The supply chain can get worse. The COVID shutdown in China can get worse. If all those things can get worse, the inflation, my friends, can also get worse. And that's what I'm basing at, that, you know what, take your money, make your money now. Don't think of 3 months from now or 6 months from now, I'm going to cash out, I'm going to buy. No. And that's why I'm not playing any long-term calls, because they're going to get killed. I'm going to look at some chat actually here. Okay, let me ask my folks back in UK tipped me off. I'm doing this YouTube stuff. I can. Okay. All right, great. So, okay, great. So now let's talk about more Palantir stuff here. Okay, so total billing, look, 1.4 billion that they have to about 2.5 billion in 2023. Okay, now net income right here, non-GAAP, we are talking about 308.1 million we ended in 2021, and we are going to 470.8 and 644. So if you look at, sorry, just looking at it. Okay, so if you look at all these metrics, right? If you start looking at all these metrics right here, and I'm talking about, you look at the revenue or you look at the non-GAAP. Hold on, why is this acting? Okay. Oh yeah, change. Okay, so if you look at the non-GAAP EBITDA, if you look at the net income, if you look at the operating margin, everything is basically getting better in terms of they're getting more revenue, they're getting more, their margin in percent is actually going to decreasing, but look at the revenue. The revenue is increasing right here, and then margin is decreasing. Stock-based compensation is the only sticky point, and it's going to continue to be like this for Palantir until 2023. Look, they're estimating 802 million for 2022, and then 881 higher than 2023. So I know that some of us are really, really pissed off on that. Look, 1.2 billion back in 2020, about the stock-based compensation, but there is nothing we can do about it. But they need to come out and stop diluting the shares that much, and that's going to help the stock price. But in my opinion, we are heading in the right direction. I mean, look, the revenue is going well, and let me share the other chart for you, okay? This is also Palantir right here. Let me close the other one before. Okay. So look at the book value right here. So book value right here, 113. It's going 134 and 162 right here. Free cash flow that we are looking over here is turned positive. And then now we are heading in the right direction. So everything is looking rosy. Everything is looking good for Palantir for the next few years. 2022 will be a tricky situation because stock is trading on technicals, not trading on fundamentals for that matter. And that's why it's going to be really, really bad stuff. I would say it's a bad move for the market because we are in this situation. Now, if we get lower CPI number, which people are saying that we are going to get next month, okay, fine. If Fed comes out and give the 50 basis point hike that everybody's talking about, okay, fine. If those two things are done, then the only remaining thing that we have in the market is what? Nothing. All the catalysts, you call it negative or positive, let's put it in one basket, all the catalysts are done, right? Then it comes to fundamentals. Then everybody will start paying more attention to fundamentals. And that's a bad timing because the consumers are going to basically spend less money by Q2 of 2022. Because I feel that right now, a credit card statement, the credit card data that I saw, people are spending same money as they were spending back in November, December, October of last year, which a little bit down, but nothing drastic. And that doesn't give me any relief because I feel that that doesn't mean anything, to me personally, because unless people are spending less money and yet we are seeing this whole downturn, understandable. But people are spending more money. That means as we get into Q2, they're going to cut back because they were just holding themselves back because of the Omicron for traveling and all that. They're doing it all right now. The cases is going to go up, and then after that, we're going to see this downturn. Okay, so now let's look at some of the revenue that we are talking about here, and then EBITDA as well for Palantir. So I'm going to start from the bottom. Free cash flow. It's really important for a company to have a good free cash flow because it gives them strengths. It gives them basically freedom to do other things. Palantir's free cash flow, even though with those kind of stock-based compensation, is going to go up. This number should have been higher, in my opinion, if they would have controlled the stock-based compensations here. Cash from operations, right here, 333. We don't know what the number is going to be. But EBITDA margin in terms of percentage, look at this. 551.8 EBITDA and 767. It was negative 396.1. So I am like totally, I feel like, we are heading in the right direction, the way the company is going, and the numbers and the metrics are looking strong. At the same time, their government contracting, which is also looking really, really strong. So actually, yes, let me show you here quickly. Okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and I'm going to share it. And then that will be the last thing we'll discuss on Palantir, because this really proves okay. Okay, there you go. All right, I'm sweating in these lights. Okay, right here. So this is the overall Palantir's overall government contracting. Okay, so this you see order from numerous databases across Army, and this is all actually, did I do the right screenshot? Activity is okay. Now I'm gonna share actually another screenshot, which is even better because it gives the information in a very clean format. Okay, right here, it has all the information that we want to check. Okay, give me a second, guys. Sorry. That's the beauty of live streams, right? You are with me in all this, and I'm gonna actually drink some water. Okay, so check this out. So this is Palantir's in terms of the quarterly orders that they receive. Look, quarterly orders, defense, civilian. Okay. Look at this. This was Q1 2020, and I'm going to go back 2020, and I'll explain in 1 second. See what happened here, right? The government was huge, of course, defense. And then all of a sudden, in Q3 of 2020, the companies came and they said, oops, we need Palantir to run our business. We need Palantir, and they came and they got this revenue. This is quarterly orders. This is quarterly, by the way, from civilian. They came over here. Government was still tagging along. Government also had this revenue over here. Then Q1 of 2021, the commercials that they basically said, you know what, Q1 is always slow for folks, right? Q1 is because they just came out of the holiday season. They gear up in like a Q2 or Q3 to kind of get ready for Q4. And then when they're coming out, they're like, you know what, no, we don't need much more. And then government ramps up because their fiscal year ends in September. Then after that, the civilian came back right here, and then the government contracting over here. And then over here, you see Q3 of 2021, we had this huge influx of civilian orders that came in. Because every time a supply chain issue happens or something happens where there's cyber attack or something like that, more and more commercial companies are now thinking that, you know what, we need this. We need Palantir to run our operations. And then look what happened here, right here, Q4. Q4, we had over here, right here was Q4. Look at the difference. Look at the stark difference, because government came in and they're like, okay, with all this going on, Russia, Ukraine, and all that, even though it was not started back then, but this is what kind of prepares the government for that what's coming next year. And I have a strong feeling that we are going to see a huge increase from commercial side of things, because everything is taking forever to ship to come, and Palantir is huge in logistics. So Palantir, I think we are going to see a massive increase in their contracts as we get out in the next 6 to 8 months, because more and more companies are getting done and tired of the old way of doing things. I mean, US government contract order right here, fiscal year 12-21, 489 orders as of revenue, 31.8% and 19.2% year-over-year change in orders. Defense orders or government orders is going to go up because of the Russia-Ukraine situation and also the cyber attack that has increased drastically. If you do a data search, you will see cyber attacks on Palantir has been increased drastically. On top of that, we are going to see civilian orders or commercial orders also pile up for Palantir. So Palantir has a huge future. The chart doesn't tell you right now, but I know for a fact that Palantir as a company is pretty strong. When you have only 2 suppliers and you're doing 2 billion in revenue, like one that's recruiter.com to get people's resumes, and then that satellite imaging company, you know that you control the entire, I would say, destiny of the company, because you're not relying on anybody for that much information. So I think it's an amazing, and they have a new product that they're going to show off on the Apollo Day, which is also coming up. And that's going to be huge for the commercial sector, because I feel that, commercial sector is now gearing up and warming up to the fact that they need these kind of companies, especially with the supply chain issues and also for the cybersecurity challenges. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take a look at the chart for aftermarket chart here. Okay, so Tesla, let's open Tesla here, and Tesla 1 minute, and Tesla market closed here and staying in that range right here. So 985, 984 is the range right here. I don't expect Tesla to move at all after market, of course, but Monday morning would be a different story, and we will see what happens Monday morning. So thank you everyone for joining this live stream. I know this was very last minute. I was supposed to do a collab video with another YouTuber, a very amazing YouTuber. I really enjoy watching his videos, but he had to, something came up last minute, so he couldn't do it. And I hope that when I come back from my trip, we plan another live stream or maybe a recorded video, and we can bring both our, things together, both our viewpoints together. So if you have any guesses, mention in the comment, who do you think it is? And also at the same time, consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button. And if you like the app that I was using, that was Moomoo, take advantage of that by going into the description. Thank you so much for being here, and you all have an amazing weekend that's coming up. It's a long weekend. Enjoy with your family, have some pancakes, go work out, go for a run. Whatever you do, make sure you do it well. Take care and have a sparkling day.